Hey, Gear Geeks! It is the weekend of the NAMM show 26. It is Thursday, January 22nd, and I got Yamaha's MGX 16V. They come in a 12V, 12 regular, and a 16 regular, which the V is for video. It is obviously these one. It is digital. It is sitting next to my Yamaha 4416 that allowed you to burn on a CD. Motorized faders. This thing was awesome. It's not working. I needed something to replace it, and I also needed something to replace my in-house mixer in my rehearsal studio here. So this just came out 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Sweetwater Sound was able to get me one out in 2.5 days. Here's the manual. Just has a couple pages in it of nothing really significant. Product information, download registration. And this is a good one, the start guide. Look at the start guide. There's 4 instructions there. Oh, it's so funny. And they give you a download for some Steinberg musical instruments. So digitally you could play with this thing. And a download for Cubase. So you could, there's a computer over there. You can, with this thing, is awesome. So here we go. The new Yamaha MGX 16V for video does 3 different things. It allows you to be a mixer. So it's going to replace my Mackie mixer right there for in-house control of all the equipment here, from drums, audio, bass, whatever. So it's going to do that, but it also could record on a mini disc in the back. It doesn't have audio motorized faders, but it's kind of opposite. You control the fader and it moves the digital. Where in something like this or any other motorized faders, you control the faders and then or you control it digitally and the faders move. So it's kind of opposite. I mean, it goes both ways, but this one doesn't do that. This one is only this way. You won't get those those faders to move. As you can see with the inputs, you get 8 XLR or the 1/4 inch. You get 4 1/4 inch. These are the RCA Omni outs, which is awesome. Get right back to that. And then 2 main outs are only XLR. You can use the Omni outs for main outs. You can use these for a various amount of different things. You have digital control of those. Everything is a one-trick pony, meaning every knob does the one thing unless you change its parameters here, and then it will go on to something different. So like for your 3 EQs, you just use the one knob, but you'd see it up there. So here, we went to the Omni. So the Omni outs are really nice. These are 4 headphone jacks. So you can program these any way you want. There's 4 of them. So they could be 4 individual headphones, or you can out to a pack of headphones where they do one thing and a different pack and a different. So it's really nice if you're doing like a little mini orchestra, maybe, where you can do individual outs to different things. These would be considered, a multi-link, a multi-operational knob linked to the screen. So that's kind of different than one knob going into 4 different things or 10 different programs. It's kind of nice. I wanted to quickly show these are programmable presets of noise or recordings or any, like if you're doing I mentioned this once before, if you're doing a game show with this thing as a live board, you could have these as preloaded sounds part of the show. Intros, outros, or noises for games. It's really cool. What I don't like about this is 16, just like this is 16, just like the mixer's 16. I'll walk over there in a second. if you want to use 15 and 16 here, actually 13, 14, 15, and 16, they're in RCA. So you really, that's a sucky 4 channels right there. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put an adapter and use 2 of them for right and left for a 1/4 inch to an RCA, and then use those that way. I really don't, these are really sucky. Anyways, but you have the rest of this, an idea for it. So you could also go to mini disc, a mini CD, mini disc. Oh my God. So you can record 16 tracks to mini disc, and you could take that mini disc out, or that mini CD, mini SD, and put it into a computer and then manipulate what you got on those 16 tracks. Especially if you use, they give you free Presonics. So this can go out to your computer. I have a computer on a stand right there with another interface ready to go and a headphone pack that rolls around. So this would go into that, right? So you can easily just have it through the computer, and the computer could be doing a live webcam, live music, whatever you want with stuff that's being inputted into this. And you could use a video camera like this one right here, the Sony. You plug in the USB from this right into this, USB-C in the back, I'll show you. And now you have a video going into this. You are using it for the audio for live. You're also using it for the audio for out video programming. So the video signal and the audio signal. So really that's 3 boards. It's doing everything but your lighting board. It's incredible. And like I just mentioned, out of everything, what lacks is I really don't like these RCAs. I don't get it. But it's pretty cool. Let me go to the back. So as I'm skating around to the back of this new Yamaha, its build quality is really nice. It's, metal. It's really nice. I just wanted to say how small it is, 16, compared to this Yamaha 16. And then if you look over here at my old school Mackie, this is a 12. It's almost the same size as the 12, this 16 digital. So I wanted to show you the back of this thing. What you have is USB. There's 2 USBs. There's a sub USB for other outs. You have a main USB to go to your computer. You have HDMIs in and outs. That's also something that you get in video only. You could put that and have those outs go to a television screen or a video monitoring screen, so you can see the lip sync timing between the audio and video programming, and what your signal is for the public once you're out, USB out or USB-C out to that. Again, like I said, to like a computer, right? Like you have my rig rolls around, and you can also do the headphone jacks, as I mentioned, into something like this. It's a headphone jack amplifier that allows you to out multiple. It's kind of cool. I just bought this Yamaha MODX. So Yamaha's been really crazy with their M's lately. I would say another thing that's lacking, excuse my voice, is if you look at this Yamaha 4416, look at all those ins and outs. The IOs were just a dream, a Gear Geek's dream. But these days of digital, you just not the same. You get no ins and out patches. So you do get programming with built in. You get some effects, compression, and stuff like that. So that's good. But there's not a lot of, there's no insert ins. Not a lot. There's no insert ins. There's no way to get any kind of effects into this other than out to your computer, new school, and then have your computer manipulate tones. So we're walking over to what it's replacing, this Mackie. I'm going to take this Mackie out. So it'll be smaller than this. Obviously, I labeled a bunch of cables. This thing's about 14 years old. The pots have been getting scratchy. I keep cleaning them. It's a good machine, but I'm out. Digital effects. It was cool. I will be able to get all these into the new one. And what I'm going to do is with my Beat Buddy, which is those two, because there's only 4 inputs in the new Yamaha. This is also a Mackie 16, just like the new one will be. But you don't have as much ins and outs. And like I said, they give you RCA. So I'm going to take these 2 quarter-inch and making adapters and then go into the RCA. This thing on the fly, you could put a USB in the back and record all these 16 tracks down to 2 tracks. But it's not usable after that. You can listen to it as a reference. And it's like I said, what you don't get with the new Yamaha is what you were doing with the Mackie is like this insert effects right here. You didn't get that. So what I do is because this is a rehearsal studio, is I usually save the first 2 tracks here, the first 2 channels, excuse me, and they are my 2 channels for over here. They eventually go to this Whirlwind Dropbox where you get a bunch of channels here, so I could throw this on the floor of the studio and pick up people coming in. Let's say if it's a few vocalists, or even better is when they're a horn section, and you put them all into that, and that picks up over here to the sub mixer. So those 2 channels on my main mixer come from here, and you see I have a little reverb and a vocoder. A vocal corrector, voice corrector, the red box. And, so you get some manipulation off the floor, so you're not clogging up over there. And especially if you have a guitar in your hand, you can come over here on the first 2 tracks and at least get, the first 2 channels of the main mixer and have them, this is a sub mixer, and allow you to do a bunch of manipulation on the floor. Here's the back of my computer rig where it rolls around. I really like this, so I can go anywhere within the studio and get work done and then roll it around. Especially for the drums, I don't have to have long cables, even though I'm using, even though I still use a DI like a Countryman or the Jensen. Even so, here's this Whirlwind, and that's for adding playback from a computer laptop to a mixer or anything else. It has RCA ins, but not RCA outs. So these RCAs on this thing is basically, I just can't figure out what I'd use them for. So I'd be able to use my camera, the Sony thing here, and then go into this mixer, which is an audio and video mixer, go out from the video mixer and go into the laptop, and then from the laptop and the video mixer, from the video mixer into a television for a monitor. This allows me to, or a user to have video, audio, send it to your computer to be recorded on that software, or send a signal to the UA interface down below here, and then to the laptop, which has a better latency. It's quicker. They're saying that there is a little bit of latency that wouldn't be as on this machine, because its only job is not to do recording. Because I was thinking of it as a interface, like plug everything into this, and then as it goes out to the computer, do recording, and just use this as the interface always. But it won't be as good as a standalone interface like the UA over here. It'd still be good. You get great live, get a good scratch track, get 16 U's of usable tracks. But anyways, this is a killer board. It just came out. I know I talked a lot. Does everything but lighting. Let me flip around to the other side. The MGX 16V. Wow, the 12 would really be small. It's really nice. The touchscreen works well. The buttons are very well lit, very well usable. Oh, what's funny is they say not to have the charger cable next to the charger too close to the cable. I swear you're not. They say don't have the charger too close to the cable, and they're connected to each other. The other thing is kind of goofy on this thing that wasn't the best is this charger. I don't like when there's no indicator light. So there's no indicator light on the charger. That is something that you would think wouldn't cost a lot to get done. And there we go. That is the new Yamaha MGX 16V. Oh my God. It's awesome. I haven't got to use it yet, but it looks like it'll be exactly what I need. I'll give you another video on the user and maybe even a live band with video and see how it does. All right, everybody, enjoy.